Hello everyone. In this video, we will be discussing about a scheme here that is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. As the name suggests, Awas means a place of dwelling or a house. In Hindi, that is Awas. Now, housing is one of the basic requirement for a human survival, and for a normal person, owning a house itself provides a significant economic and social security as well as status in the society. Keeping this this in mind, the government of India in the year 2015-16 has launched Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Now, this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana has been has been launched in both rural area and in urban areas too. Now, in rural areas, it has been launched with the name of Pradhan Mantri. It has been launched with the name Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. Gramin is village. And in urban, it has been Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. Now, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin is managed by Ministry of Rural Development, who is currently heading the Ministry of Rural Development, Shivraj Singh Chauhan. And Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban, it falls under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Who is heading the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in the recently formed cabinet? It is Manohar Lal Khattar. Uh, Now, this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin was initially Indira Awas Yojana, and urban was Rajiv Gandhi Awas Yojana, which has been replaced by Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Now, why was this scheme in news? So the scheme was in news because the newly formed cabinet has agreed to construct 3 crore houses. Among them, 2 crore houses will be developed in Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, and remaining 1 crore houses will be developed in Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. And this scheme was also new because initially when this scheme was launched in the year 2015-16, it was launched with the motto Housing for All by 2022. But because of the certain reason like COVID, incomplete work, and many other organizational factors, this target of Government of India could not be futile. So it was extended to December 2024. But now it has been extended furthermore to few more years. Okay, now these both the scheme Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Rural and Urban are centrally sponsored scheme. Now what do we mean by centrally sponsored scheme? Centrally sponsored scheme means that certain amount of finances will be contributed by Government of India and certain amount will be contributed by the state government. That is what we mean by a centrally sponsored scheme. Now, what is the objective? Objective of this scheme is to address the housing shortage among the poor people who cannot afford the houses. Now, firstly, we will discuss Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. Now, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban Ministry, as we discussed, it is the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, which is headed by Manohar Lal Khattar. It is a centrally sponsored scheme. It was launched in the year 2015. Now, who are the beneficiaries? मतलब whom do this scheme cater to? This scheme basically address the urban housing shortages among EWS, economically weaker section, low income group, and middle income group. Now, who are EWS people? Who are the economically weaker section? Economically weaker sections are the family members whose annual income is less than 3 lakh. Low income group under this scheme are the people whose annual income is less than or between is between 3 lakh to 6 lakh. And middle income group are the people whose annual income is 18 lakhs or less than 18 lakhs, 6 lakh to 18 lakh. And in this, slum dwellers are also identified as a beneficiaries. Now, here, what do we mean by family? Family here will include parents, father, mother, and unmarried children. And their unmarried children, like son, daughter, son, they will be the unmarried children and the parents. So that will be a family that will be a family member, and it has to be kept in this mind that this scheme cannot be availed by any person who owns a pakka house in his or her name in or any member of his or her family in any part of India. Then the scheme cannot be availed by those people. So these are the beneficiaries. Now there is uh, what are the features of this scheme? Now, the first feature is credit linked subsidy scheme. Now, what do we mean by credit linked subsidy? Credit linked subsidy scheme. Now, credit linked subsidy scheme will offer interest subsidy. What will it provide? It will provide interest subsidy on home loans for EWS, LIG, and MIG for their new homes, so that EMIs can be uh, can be cheaper in rate, and government of India can grant they can have benefit up to 2.6 uh, lakh on housing loans. Now the next feature is in situ slum development. Now, what is in situ slum redevelopment means? That as a resource can be provided land can be provided as a resource for private participation along with the government of India, and here they can have 1 lakh per house they can provide. Now, affordable housing. Okay, before that we have beneficiary led construction. Now, what does beneficiary led construction mean? That can be provided. Financial assistance can be provided to individual families belonging to EWS who can construct their new houses on their own available vacant land, or in case of landless, the benefits provided, land rights provided by state or utilities. That is beneficiary led construction. And under beneficiary led construction, the grants can be provided up to 1.5 lakh per house that can be provided. Now fourth feature is affordable housing partnership. What is affordable housing partnership? As the name suggests, partnership. It promotes a, it, it promotes partnership with public and private sector for housing for EWS beneficiaries. Let's just we keep on hearing that these houses are built by housing society of this particular state. So that is how the affordable housing partnership can be done with the public and private sector belonging to EWS. Now, this scheme of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban has been linked or converged with various schemes like Swachh Bharat Mission, Urban, National Urban Livelihood Mission, Solar Mission. These schemes have been converged or under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, and this scheme will cover all the statutory towns and notified towns. Now, achievement under this currently the achievement is that under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban, we are able to construct 83.67 lakh houses have been achieved and completed. Now, how will we do the monitoring that the funds are not utilized for other purposes? For this, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, under this we have a dashboard and 5-stage geotagging at various levels of each house, uh, each house or the project for monitoring and progress of the construction. Funding is public expenditure. If we talk about the funding here, funding is public expenditure is 40% and private investment, including the beneficiaries, will be 60%. Okay, and under this, there is also a scheme. Under this, we can say there is a sub scheme under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. It is affordable rental housing complex. The people who migrate from one place to another, they usually face the problem of rental services. So under this affordable rental housing complexes has been launched, which provide ease of living to urban migrants, poor, who can get who can get a dignified place to live. That is the affordable rental housing complex which we are talking about. Okay, now this scheme has one more important feature, that this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is very helpful in women empowerment. But how is this scheme helpful in women empowerment? Now the beneficiaries or the provision here, the we can say कि the provision includes that a female member, if there is a female member in the house, she will be given the preference over the male members for housing. And in the name of the female, if the house is taken, to the property will be in the name of the female member, and overriding preference will be given to ST, SC women, minority women, widow, etc. Recently, I think, recently, I suppose, there was a movie which was based on this Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, where they take a fake divorce so that they could be given earlier preference under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. I think it was some movie which was. And similarly, we have Panchayat, which is based on Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. This was all about Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Now, quickly, let's discuss Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. Now, the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, mostly the features more or less are the same. It is under Ministry of Rural Development. It is also centrally sponsored scheme. And who are the beneficiaries? Beneficiaries include SC, ST. Now, here the beneficiaries के लिए we have 3-stage validation. How is this 3-stage validation done? This 3-stage validation is done on the basis of socio-economic and caste census 2011 and from finalized Awas Plus list, subject to the verification by Gram Sabha and the appellate process thereafter. Now, this also have landless beneficiaries who do not have any kind of land. So for them, they panchayat, common land, community land, or land belonging to other local authorities, panchayat land will be given to them for their dwelling. Now here the benefits under this benefits that are provided under this scheme are that unit assistance of rupees almost 1.20 lakh is provided in the plain area and rupees 1.3 lakh in hilly areas, in hilly states, UTs, states suffering from left wing areas, left wing extremism districts there. And here the provision of assistance of almost rupees 12,000 for toilet through convergence with Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin. There we saw that the convergence of the scheme was Swachh Bharat Mission Urban. Here the convergence of this mission is Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin, and here a provision of rupees 12,000 extra will be provided for the construction of toilets, and 90 to 95% days of unskilled labor wages under MG Naregas for the construction of the house. So the scheme has also been merged with MG Narega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee, for construction of houses, and it also provides water, LPG, water, electricity, LPG through relevant schemes. They can be covered here all over the country. The scheme is implemented, and till now under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, 2.62 crore households have been completed. And how do we do the monitoring? How is the monitoring done under this scheme? The monitoring under this scheme is done through Awas Soft, which is a bilingual Hindi and English transaction web-based electronic service delivery platform which provides e-governance. Awas eSoft is basically providing e-governance. And the next we have Awas app. It is a mobile application which can monitor the real-time construction activities through date, timestamp, so that monitoring can be done. Okay. And what about the funding mechanism? If we talk about the funding mechanism, here the funding mechanism is 60 is to 40 in plain areas, 90 is to 10 in northeast states, hilly states, UTs of Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh, and 100% for central government in other UTs. Okay. Uh, Here also the women empowerment ka role is very much important, because here also the preference under beneficiaries is given to the women, so that women own a property and it helps in her empowerment. So this was all about the scheme that was in news, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Thank you. Next news in the current affairs is about startup ranking. So before starting the topic, let's understand what is a startup. Now, startup is a newly established company, a company that has been established recently. In the in in 1 to 10 years, it has been recently established with a small team of founders. Or there are only few people that are indulged in the company, and they have limited resources which are focused on producing a unique product, service, or a business model. For example, we have Zepto. Zepto is a startup, and what is the uniqueness about their business? That they promise doorstep delivery of grocery. within 10 to 15 minutes. Likewise, we have various other startups in India like Zerodha, Grow, Unacademy, etc. are the startups that we keep on hearing in news. Now, government of India, to boost startup culture in India, launched Startup India in 2016. And what was the aim to start Startup India of the government? To provide strong ecosystem for nurturing innovation, boosting investment for the startup sectors in India. So therefore, we celebrate every year on January 16th, we celebrate Startup Day. This year also we celebrated Startup Day on January 16, 2016, and it was our 8th Startup Day. And on this event only, on this edition, we uh, we give the government presented states startup award and also the national innovation startup for the companies. Now, if we look at some stats related to startups in India, we have third largest startup ecosystem in the world, and 1 lakh plus recognized startups are there in India. Okay. Now, if we talk about the state startup award, these state startup awards were given by Department of Promotion of Industries and Internal Trade, which is under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Now, the 8th National Startup Day was on January 16, 2024, and it was the fourth edition of State Startup Ranking 2022. And what was the theme? On support of startup ecosystem of state and UTs. And on this day, we also presented the fourth National Startup Awards 2023. And what was the theme for that? Celebrating achievers ahead of the curve. Now, this National Startup Awards is given to the companies which are engaged in startups which are very much innovative in nature. Okay, now these awards were given by Department of Promotion of Industries and Internal Trade, which is under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Okay, now the ministers, these people, these winners were facilitated by Union Minister Piyush Goyal, and in the state startup ranking 2022, Gujarat, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu emerged as the best performing states in category A, and under category B, we have Himachal Pradesh. Now, what are category A states and what are category B states? Category A states are the states whose population is more than 1 crore, and category B states are the states where the population is less than 1 crore. Now, if we talk about the assessment, how they were assessed? There were 33 states and union territories which were evaluated across the 5 performance categories. Okay, what were these categories? Best performer, top performer, leaders, aspiring leaders, and emerging ecosystem. And if we talk about the evaluation period, what was the timeline that was taken? It was taken from August 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. And there were 7 reforms areas with 25 action points. Now, if we talk about what do we mean by the reforms area, reform areas include like institutional support, capacity building, and the capacity building like organizing hackathon, workshops, roadmap to sustainable future. Okay, now let's see the results of the state startup ranking 2022 results. Now, if we talk about the best performer states, we have in category 1, category A, Gujarat, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. In category B, Himachal Pradesh. Now, how were these? How can you say that these states were evaluated? Like if you talk about Gujarat, reforms in Gujarat included Startup Gujarat Industrial Policy, Patent Information Center, training, skill development. These were the reforms that were introduced by Gujarat, and that therefore it has emerged as the best performer state. In top performer, if we talk about, it was Maharashtra, Odisha, Punjab, Rajasthan, and Telangana. And under category B state, Arunachal Pradesh and Meghalaya. Under leaders, we have Andhra Pradesh, Assam, MP, UP, and Uttarakhand. Category B state, Goa, Manipur, and Tripura. Under aspiring leaders who have emerged to be a leader, Bihar and Haryana, and in category B state, Andaman Nicobar and Nagaland. In emerging ecosystem, which are providing ecosystem for startup ecosystem, Chhattisgarh, Delhi, JNK. And in category B state, Chandigarh, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Ladakh, Mizoram, Puducherry, and Sikkim. On the same day, national startup awards being were also given. Now these national startup awards, they recognizes and reward. They recognizes and reward, promote outstanding startups in India, and the winners are given 10 lakh. Now these kind of awards promote a startup ecosystem in India. Now there were certain categories. Let's look at the few categories of the National Startup Award and Area Innovate Awards. It was Axel Hero Private Limited, which is based out of Telangana. And what was the uniqueness of their product? They have provided hybrid electric aircraft solution for their defense needs. Okay. Now, in Champions of Cultural Heritage, we have Country Clay Private Limited based out of Delhi. What were they offering? They have offered luxury crockery, dinnerware, bathware, and decorative products from different states of India. They are promoting the state, therefore, Champions of Cultural Heritage. They were given the award for them. Excellence in the Local to Global, Black Frog Technologies Private Limited, based out of Karnataka. And what are they offering? They are offering safe last mile delivery of controlled medical supplies like insulin, blood serum, vaccination, and other biologicals. So they are promoting. Their startup is based out of medical services. Genesis of the Innovator of the Year, if we talk about, it was given to Atusya Technology Private Limited, which is based out of Chennai, Tamil Nadu. And what was their uniqueness? Their uniqueness was related to the sustainability goal by utilizing AI, deep tech, and Internet of Things. Impact in rural areas, if we talk about, we have SNL Innovation, which is based out of Jaipur, Rajasthan, and it allows a mini aseptic fruit processing facility at a convenience to turn excess ripened fruit, which is whenever the fruit gets excessively ripened, like banana, which is get excessively ripened, or any other fruit, its pulp can be used to make other products. Amuse Technology, based out of Mumbai, Maharashtra. It is a hydrolytic services which allow public utilities and irrigation department to precisely detect, analyze, and forecast whether water leakages and water can be saved. Likewise, there were other categories for which the awards were given for to these startups, and these awards were also were given by were given by Department of Promotion of Industries and Internal Trade under Ministry of Commerce and Trade. Thank you.